deck and you can play. It's not like a tier 1 deck, but it's pretty good. Anyway, in the meantime, we're going to go on to game number 2. Yes, I want to play first. No, I don't want to mull this. It's a pretty good hand. It's got an early drop. It's got a later drop. It's got 4 mana. It's got a Geist Trappers. I don't think there's much more I can ask for here. So anyway, Avacyn Restored is not like my favorite set ever. My favorite set, to be honest, is Ice Age. I think Ice Age is a really cool set. Other sets that I like that I think are cool is Alliances is alright. Urza Saga was pretty cool. Tempest I thought was alright. Taganko who says, do all the popular decks follow a specific gimmick or archetype? Yes, they do. Um, You can go on a lot of sites, mtgtop8.com I think it is. Also, MTG Salvation is great. Channel Fireball has a lot of articles. Star City Games, although you have to pay for the better articles, they have a lot of stuff. So on and so forth. Right now, we're just waiting for our opponent here. As soon as he's here, we're going to get started. Yeah, Tempest was a cool set. I really liked it. I like the flavor in Tempest also. I don't know about the worst ever. There are a lot of cool cards in the format. The Soulbound mechanic is pretty cool. Blinking is back, and I like blinking. I think it's a cool concept. Although the rules are kind of weird. It doesn't really make sense to me that if you blink a creature, it evades targeted removal. That's kind of weird, but hey, it works. It's in the game, so there you go. I mean, when you think if something disappeared and then came right back, that the removal would just target it again, but no, that's not how it works. Alright, so I'm going to swing with this wolf. I'm going to play my smuggler. And I'm going to say go. Also, F6 in Magic Online is your friend, but be careful. If you F6 on your opponent's turn, and then they play like a spell you didn't expect them to play, then, yeah, that's a blow up. So, yeah. Don't let that happen to you. I'm going to play my shield mate. I'm going to protect the smuggler. Because obviously I don't want him to get removed. He's going to get the job done this deck. Now the bad news is that he's stuck on 2 land drops. Which means that my aggressive start is really good for me. I'm about to play a Geist Trappers next turn. And then I have enough master components to refill my hand if I run out of threats. See, Angelic Armaments, I'm not a fan of this card. I don't think it's okay. Like, if you have no choice, you have to play it. Otherwise, not great. Alright, so I'm going to swing with my guys. He's tapped out, so there's nothing you can really do. There's no crazy, like, free effects in Avacyn. It's really just miracles. Nah, I'm not gonna soulbind it. Maybe I'll soulbind it to the Drake when I play it. So this game is pretty free for me. I don't think that there's a lot he can do. Alright, taps my guy. That's fine. Just trying to buy himself some time so he can find an out. This specifically is why Angelic Armament sucks, by the way. If this was the 3 mana 1/4 guy or like another early drop instead of this armaments, then at least he could have like blocked my shield mate, he could block my smuggler, he'd have to take the wandering wolf, but that's not so bad. Versus now, he's really pretty screwed. So I'm just gonna swing with everything. I'm gonna play another guy. And he is dead next turn unless he has an answer to all these threats. Another common mistake that you see here is that he's choosing to go in 3 colors. Splashing is okay if there's like one ridiculous spell. Deathwind, I guess, is like an okay spell to splash, but I wouldn't go nuts. But basically, our opponent's mana screwed. and we're gonna move on. I didn't really get to see much of his deck, so I'm gonna stick with what worked for me game number one. So I'm just gonna submit this list. We'll see what he chooses to do. Belzik says this format is pretty boring. Maybe. If you guys would like to see me try another format, maybe after this, we'll see what happens. Alright, so here we go. Game 2. I'm emphatically keeping this hand. It's pretty ridiculous. No, I do not want to mulligan this hand. This hand's a beating. He's got to deal with all these threats, and he's got to deal with them fast. It's turn. Oh my god, and there's a turn 5 drop. Look at that beautiful curve. We're in there. Alright. And another Wandering Wolf to replace the first one if it dies. That's comedy. We'll see if he has a way to deal with all my threats. Triumph of Ferocity. This card is good. I'm a fan. But only in a deck like mine that has like a whole ton of threats and then has some big guys on the top end. Otherwise, not so good, I think. In the situation he's in right now, it's not great, that's for sure. Gonna play a land. I'm gonna play my next guy. So, out for him right now. If he has a Righteous Blow, that would be good because he can kill my Latch Seeker. Alright, he's trying to draw some more lands, obviously. Or some more spells or anything that's going to stop all these quick threats. But the reality is, if he plays a blocker this turn, it's just going to get Mistravened. And the tempo advantage has already been established. Ooh, I don't even have to bounce that. That's nuts. Alright. So, considering that I don't have to bounce it, I'm going to play this Force Mage. This card would be better in my deck. This is a card I would want. Yes. Gonna bond it to the Latch Seeker. He tapped all his mana, which means that he definitely does not have a Righteous Blow. He can't block my Wandering Wolf because Gloom Widow can only block flyers. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. Seraph of Dawn is cool and all, but she's also pretty gone. Alright. Mistraven. This is what I expected this deck to do. The first game, it really didn't happen. But that's cool. It's over. Unless he has an answer for Latch Seeker this turn. Like a bounce spell or something. Oh, that's it. Alright. Fastest match ever. And that's the fun in playing aggressive decks. Sometimes they just get there. Yeah, that was pretty cheap, I gotta say.